have seen that the four speakers have given their viewpoints on different issues that they are dealing with. It requires legislative effort, it requires financial effort, and at the same time a change of mindset as such. Innovative measures are required. We have, especially the developing countries, have come a long way, and India in general moving towards the renewable energy sector. I thank all my colleagues for giving their perspective and sticking on to the timetable or the time limit to the possible extent. Now we have, yeah, please. We will give you the mic. We'll be too happy to. Can we? We'll be having. That's what I'm saying. That we'll be having an open session. Definitely. Okay. No presentation or no expression is complete without an inquisition from the listeners. So, thank you for finishing in time so that we have some time to listen or to resolve any query or inquisition or any other issues. So I invite any question from the audience or any input from the audience. And if it is directed to any of my colleague, please point so, introduce yourself for the benefit of others. I request the organizers to give a speaker to the gentleman raising any query. Please.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, before I bring to something, correct me if I'm wrong. Thankful, I really, Shilpa has given, Yeah, I'm a Pritpal Singh. I work with the various shipping organizations, chief engineer, and I have been, the last I worked with the Anglo-Eastern. And I got the loyalty under the loyalty program that I took the retirement. And now, again, I'm working. I got a valid certificate of competency, still 24, and also I am doing a lot of work in behind. I did my post-graduation in international logistics, apart from my Bachelor of Engineering. And
name will suffice. Let's hear your query.
Yeah, this is regarding, which I am also working for many years, which I experienced at the sea, on the Laker vessels, that what she said, the hydro potential, because myself also, I started with electrical engineering for Thopper and the IIT Kanpur. Then before I moved into the shipping corporation as marine engineer. My first job was the Indian Water Commission, which I...
Your query, please.
My query was that she said hydro potential, which is I think very expensive, where we had to again put the energy back using that same prime mover, because we had 3 gravitational, frictional, and cavitational forces, which we... So that way, the hydro potential energy is still very expensive. But now what they're coming out with another alternative source of energy is a tidal barrage generation. Because we have the oceans. I've been to, now, recently I was in Brisbane, to Australia. Then before COVID, I visited US. They're using tidal barrage generation, using tidal energy to generate electricity. So that is they're thinking about the alternative source.
No. Mr. Singh, let's be clear on this issue. She has explained 4 or 5 ways, tidal waves, wind energy, solar energy.
Yes.
And tidal is adopted by many countries, and India is an ideal place, especially with anti-dumping point very near to Kandla. I'm saying, what query you have as such so that we can address the same?
Yeah, because the thing is that we have looking into the cost with the expenses and all. You know, because the hydro energy, of course, we have plenty like hydro potential available in India. But we have going looking for the barrages for the tidal waves to make it a more.
Yeah, it's true. You have to have barrages because when the high tide is of 6 to, unless otherwise you have sufficient height advantage, the kinetic energy will be of no use. So therefore you have to build up. So we have not done in India. What she explained is this is another mean or method by which you can have renewable energy.
So my question is basically how we can make it viable, because that's what we experience. It may be the most like a cost saving, because the expenses and all. Because the problem is okay, we had to like we had to pump the water back, so we had to again overcome the gravitational.
There was a symposium very recently in the month of, in the first week of November on renewable energy. One conclusion was that any methodology adopted for renewable energy is going to be very, very capital intensive, be it wind, solar, or wave, or any other method. So therefore, the recovery will be at least 20 years. That is well accepted world over. But we have no choice but to invest and move. Okay, any other question, please?
Thank you.
Sir, I'm Devdutt Bose from heading the maritime business in Tata Consulting Engineers. We are consultant to JNPT for the shore-based along with Vedam, which brings me here. I have one observation on this, that when you told that the port should be LNG ready for bunkering. But in my opinion, with this experience in the port sector, I feel that EXIM trade will be determined by what is happening around the world, the bunkering, like say in Antwerp or in Rotterdam, if they are going for hydrogen or ammonia. Similar facility, energy transition, our EXIM ports has to do. So there will not be a clear path for at least for next 5 to 7 years in which way the major ports or the EXIM route should do. I agree to the gentleman who give on that inland waterways that it should be gas-based and it is fully acceptable. So the policy making from the government should be a bit staggered for the domestic different, for the coastal different, and for the EXIM different. Thank you.
Yeah, we totally accept that there has to be policy. But let me say one thing clear. While the trade governs the type of vessel and in turn the type of auxiliaries, the fuel that the ship is going to use. But at the same time, it is the other way around also. The ship owner will build a ship as per the trade. That is how the normal merchant shipping goes. So it's a chicken and egg theory, but nevertheless there has to be a good balance between the two. Okay, any other question, please? Yes, young man.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pradyuman Vyas. I am a final year marine engineering student from HIMT College, Chennai. My question is to ma'am. Ma'am, as we are talking about the autonomous shipping, at the same time we talk about the autonomous ports that are developed in various of the developed countries, and also we are thinking of developing autonomous ports in India as well. So as we are talking about the renewable energy in ports, how can there be a mixture of the renewable energy plus the autonomous ports which are being discussed all over the world?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so renewable energy sources at port and how it can be automated.
Yes, ma'am.
So, in fact, renewable energy sources are for producing electricity instead of using fossil fuels and other sources. So when we are producing electricity by renewable energy sources, definitely we can have the infrastructure developed for modern ports, which will have IoTs, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence-based power plants, power distribution system, and smart meters, smart grids are there, which can be set up by using the renewable energy sources, and that will in fact more better to make the port more autonomous by also using the renewable energy sources.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, any other?
Good morning to all. I'm Rajesh Doshi, a marine engineer of the 75 batch of DMET. And yes, certainly more concerned with the coastal shipping and related issues. I do accept, Captain Panda, that the whole matter has to be carefully studied and the directions to be received from the controlling authorities in the form of law or in the form of rules. In the inland vessel modification of rules that you mentioned, is there any possible provision for NABSA, NAABSA, that is not always afloat but safely aground? I believe that considering the major limitation in development of coastal shipping is the cost of dredging to provide full depth channels and ports for 24 hours a day. There are certainly many points all over the 7,500 kilometer coastline which can, due to the tidal variation, be used efficiently for coastal traffic if NABSA, as used in the South American ports, is permissible here, because without insurance, there is no way shipping can work.
Sorry to intervene in between. There are a lot of teething problems so far as IV sector is concerned, but we have come a long way. What you're saying is absolutely correct, because the type of rivers that we have, it cannot guarantee depth. So the government of India is working towards it, but within the context of this seminar or this conclave, so I'll appreciate any feedback on the energy, type of energy that the vessels are using, or any other way we can help in reducing or move towards government's objective towards the climate improvement. I'll appreciate that. Those problems are there and that will continue. Okay?
Appreciate, sir. Then it goes to our specialists on the gas. I do accept that LNG has been proposed.
Thank you for accepting. And let's see, there are issues and it's not easy that LNG is available, so just adopt it. Our coastal shipping on an average, I think, is 15 years plus. And IV is even further. To make modification and make necessary changes, it requires huge capital, huge mindset and policy change. Okay, thank you.
Sir, my second question, if you will
Can you,
permit me.
I'll request, I appreciate,
Not
I
in
appreciate your
continuation,
interest.
Sir. In the gas sector is a very big issue, LNG or CNG. Do our experts visualize a possibility of having CNG terminals rather than LNG in the future? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll address the queries. I thank my colleagues again here to sticking on to the timetable. And since we are running short of time, and I would hate to cross the time limit, you all kindly excuse us. However, we will be addressing your queries if they are sent to the organizers, and you will get the reply from us. With this, I thank the organizers for giving us the opportunity to express our views, and over to the organizers for taking it further.
Yeah. On behalf of INMARCO Organizing Committee and the Institute of Marine Engineers, I like to thank the panel members for presenting thought-provoking ideas during the discussion. May I request the chair to present memento to Mr. Nitin Borwankar. Next to Mr. Ranjit Deka. And the next to Commandant Swipto Ghosh. And last but not the least, to Ms. Silpa Bali. We take this opportunity to thank Captain L.K. Panda for taking his time out in participating this conference in spite of his busy schedule. May I call upon Sri Arun Gupta to present memento to Captain L.K. Panda.
As it is, we have to come forward.